and welcome to Art Play Relay. It is the third month that we're doing this, and this is kind of, round two, because we started and finished each other's paintings in January and February, and now it is time for a new painting. Two new paintings, mine and Juna's. So I have picked a quote. I did it on my computer with a random.org to select the quote, and what I got was: "Hope is the little voice you hear whisper maybe when it seems the entire world is shouting no." I really like this one because it's not so much that I experience the world shouting no, but I do have these voices in my head that shout no about a lot of things that I do, and it's very difficult to kind of keep on track when you don't know whether you're being swayed because it's not the right thing, or just because, because there's other voices that are saying no and you just shouldn't listen. So that really resonates with me. So I haven't got a plan. I really just want to be kind of intuitive about things. Again, kind of mulling over that quote where it kind of feels like other people always want, they have an idea of what they want you to do, but it kind of has to come from here. So that's something that I've been doing lately myself. That's part of the journey I'm on, which is kind of coming from there rather than from there or from out there. So that's my goal. I hope you enjoy, and do remember to check out Juna's video as well, and then check back next month to see us finishing each other's paintings. Exciting. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Bye. I'm starting out cutting a piece of scrap paper with a knife. I'm cutting a rectangular shape so that I can add a flap to the painting. Here I'm carefully scoring the edge so that it folds more easily. I'm not cutting it. I'm gluing it with some gel medium so that it will really adhere very nicely to the page. I'm starting creating the background. My goal is to just be quite random about to create an interesting background. I'm using a distress paint dauber thingy here, just stamping with it, just applying things pretty randomly so that the background will get an interesting texture and just build up the layers. Adding a darker color. I'm sticking for now with the kind of blue, green, turquoise color scheme. I'm using a paper towel to rub the paint all over. I like using different tools to apply the paint to kind of get different interesting textures. Here I am applying the paint with a sponge brush, which also just gives it its own interesting texture. And I just keep adding paint in that color scheme, and here I'm making a kind of dabbing motion, so it's just about kind of keep adding, keep layering, making interesting shapes and textures just by playing with the paint. Adding some fluorescent yellow paint just to kind of make it more interesting, and I'm blowing it and moving the page so that it kind of flows. Next I'm working on the bottom half of the painting, making kind of vertical lines just to make sure that the bottom is a bit different from what the top is like, because I have this tendency to create paintings that are quite symmetrical all over, so I'm challenging myself and trying to do different things in different places. Here I'm adding a little bit of green paint, and wasn't sure about the color, but I just went with it. And I'm finger painting and making kind of floral shapes just by dabbing my finger. I'm adding a contrasting color now. The whole color scheme has been quite cool colors, and now I'm adding a warm color just to kind of draw the eye. I'm using the edge of the sponge brush. I'm adding a horizon line here with a pencil, just so to break up the composition a bit, so it's not just all quite like a big random background, but your eye's got somewhere to travel. Just adding a little bit more kind of texture to the background with those same colors. I'm using a palette knife here. So as before, just building up the layers, adding interest, so that you kind of get these translucent layers where you see everything that came before. Here I'm using ink on a toothbrush, and I'm scraping my finger to create a very kind of fine mist. I really love this technique. And I'll continue here with a kind of pink-red ink. And I made an accidental blob, but I quite liked it, so I kept it. Next up, I'm adding some white highlights to these flowery dots, just to draw the eye a bit more. And now I am stamping with a floral stamp, because that's what the whole composition kind of reminded me of things growing. And the red is a little bit like a picket fence. So here you've got some plants or some flowers growing. Then as a final step, and to kind of incorporate the quote and meaning a bit more into this painting, I wrote the word hope on the stems of the flowers, and I wrote it in black and white, and I wrote it both ways, going up and going down the stems.